Hello everyone, welcome back to Roy's the Boy. I'm back now from my holidays in Mexico. I had a really great time, but now it's time to sort of get back into the flow of making some videos. So what I've got for you today is I've got a McCulloch Lawnmower with a 450 series Briggs and Stratton classic engine on it, and they phoned me up and they says they want it serviced. They says what else it's doing is they pump the fuel in, or the primer bulb. It starts for a few seconds and it cuts out. So to me that is going to be a carburettor problem. So let's go and have a look at it and see what we can do with it. Right, there it is. They've had it a few years. It's never been serviced. What the fella did, he did take the air filter off and he turned it over. And he saw it was in that sort of condition, and fair play to him, he said he didn't want to mess around with it, so he's got me in to sort it out for him. As you can see, it's got the old 35 classic carburettor and engine. So let's take all this apart, start cleaning it up a little bit. We'll take this off and sort this out. Right, so we'll take this off. I've probably said in some of my other videos to take this off. Everyone has these, just to a little extension bar to put your screwdriver bits in, and it actually fits on there nicely. So let's take that off. Right, so straight away we're having problems with this one. Screwing that off. And all it's doing is going round. So now I've got to try and get the recoil cover off. Hopefully I can get to the other side and see what the problem is under there. Yeah, so what's happening in there is where the screw is inside there, where it's been tapped in, the whole thing, it seemed to have come apart. There's no way I'm going to get that off, so this will have to stay on there as it is. So if I ever do need to do a recoil cover string on it, I'll try and fix it another time if he brings it back to me, but I've got it off, so I'll leave it like that. Right, so I put some tissue in here. What I'm going to do is I've got my airline, it might cut in. I'm going to just give it a bit of a clean in here, get most of this dirt off. I'll finish that and then come back. So to take apart one of these ones, all it is, it's held in by 5 little screws. There, and there. So we'll take these off. I think the people who own it, I think they said they've had it 5 years, I think. Something like that. And it's never been serviced, so it's well overdue. Sorry about that, I knocked the camera in. So I'll take this apart and we'll get it off. Alright, so the screws are off, undone. We'll take that off and it comes out. Well, I could see straight away as well, you've got this diaphragm. I think this diaphragm has actually had it, because that's too bad. That's not very good on there. And also in the tank, as you can see inside there, it is very dirty. So the fuel ain't too bad. It is going off a bit. So we'll give this tank a clean up and we'll have a look at this diaphragm and gasket in a minute. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty the fuel that's in here, just in case it is off a bit. There ain't a lot in there, so what I'll do is I'll use all the old fuel and I'll clean up the tanks with them. So let's go and sort that out. So all I'll do is really just give it a good old clean with this. Makes a bit of a mess. It is dirty inside there. Even the underneath, yeah, look. And then all I'll do with that is I'll get my airline and give it a good old blowout. So, and the same thing with the carburettor on the outside there. I'm going to give all that air good old clean before I stick it into the carburettor, into the ultrasonic cleaner, I should say. You don't normally have to put these ones in ultrasonic cleaner, but I've never used one of these in there yet, and I want to give it a go. Right, so we'll give those a blowout. Right, so that's come up a lot cleaner than what it was. Almost sort of like new, but what I'm going to do is, there's still some more gunk inside there, so I'm just going to fill that up with some carburettor cleaner and the inside there. Just get those around, leave those to soak for a little bit, and then we give those a blowout as well. Right, so we look inside it. That ain't too bad inside here really, but it's still going to need a good old clean. What we'll do is we'll take this gasket and diaphragm off. I'm not too bothered if it splits as I'm pulling it off, because I'm going to put a new one on. As it happens, the old spring has actually got caught on the diaphragm as well, so we'll take that off. Now that's unusual for that. As you can see there, that is actually perished inside it, or it's got stuck to it, and it shouldn't be stuck to it. No, it shouldn't. And that's probably one of the other reasons why it's not working, because it's, as you can see, there's too much movement in that gasket, so that is completely at it. So we'll stick a new one on that. Alright, so what else you normally do with these, you take these off as well. This should twist around and come off. Now sometimes if it doesn't, then all you do is just give it a spray with carburettor cleaner. Let it settle a little bit. What I'll do is I'm going to spray that, everything that's in there. Take this off because you don't want to lose that. That's for the air filter. And I'm going to have to leave this for a little bit and then take that off. Well, it's coming. There we go. I think it would, because inside there, that's a main jet. I'm going to take that out and stick it loose into the carburettor. I'm not going to take this one out because once you pull these ones out, they don't go back very good. So to take these out, just get something very small inside there, and then just prise that out. There's a little O-ring on there. As you can see, the jets, they're not blocked, but there is something in there. But I think the main problem with this really is that gasket. Right, okay, before the old daylight goes, let's put this gasket, brand new one, so first of all we're going to put the spring back on, which goes into there like that, and also stick this jet back in and just push it in and it clips in. And the same as that, you just push that in, just give it a twist and that's in as well. And now these diaphragms, what you do is, oh hang on, I've got to blow that out, just give us a second. I stuck some more carb clean in there just to clean it out, and I haven't blown it out. Alright, so what you do is you put the diaphragm on first, so you can only go one way with the shape of it. And then the gasket. And then very gently, keeping it in place, hold it to put the main jet. So what that pipe does, it sucks the fuel up, and then line up all the holes. That's it. then put some screws in. When you tighten these up, tighten them up to they go as far as they can at the moment, and then tighten one up, crisscrossing until they're all tight. So, all right, now the carburettor's done, I'm just going to just give this a little bit of a clean up under here, under the engine here, before I put it all back together. There's quite a bit there. I've got to do the other side as well. It was a bit messy. Makes it nice and clean. It's all part of the service anyway, so I'll give this a clean up and we'll come back to you. Alright, so before I start putting the fuel tank and carburettor back on, I'm going to take the blade off, give the blade a sharpen, and then clean all the underneath and the top. It's all part of the service, and yeah, it hasn't been cleaned for a while. There's a lot of dirt there, so let's take this off. Yeah, it's a 17mm on this one. What is it? It might be a 60. It says it. Yeah, these impact wrenches are absolutely brilliant. This is a little DeWalt one. It does the job on this. Let's have a look at the blade. Right, okay, yeah, that blade is quite worn down. Really, it should have a new blade put on it because it is pretty worn there. So I think maybe one more season out of this. Let's have a look at the other side. Yeah, it's worn on both sides here, so it will need replacing next year. I'll give all this all the clean out and everything. It's all part of the service, so let's go and carry on doing it. Right, I have to say that this one here is quite thick with grass. Now the thing is, if you don't clean these properly, what it does, it starts to rot the decks, and then the decks don't last long. That's the only problem with these mowers. They're cheaply made, and if you don't clean them, then holes will start appearing at the top, and then you'll end up having to buy another lawnmower possibly after just a few years, really. Right, I could safely say now that is I have sharpened that the best I can. It's 100 times better than what it was, including the other side. So we'll stick this back on. Now when you put these ones on, what you have to remember is when you're putting these ones, if it's got a lip like that on it, if it's not flat, it's got the lip, this lip has to be going upwards. Otherwise it'd be cutting the wrong way. That's it. Okay, so we start putting this back on, and put these on really is what you do is you get this little hook which is on from the flat, governor flat, and you put it into that little big hole there, just twist it up and it's in, and putting all the rubbers into the same places, just give it a little twist. And it's in. It has 2 bolts back on it. One there. With the spacer goes into there, and the 13 one goes on there. So I will bolt that up and come back. So before I go any further, I'm going to change this spark plug. Now this spark plug, I can tell straight by looking at it, it is the original spark plug which has been on it from new. And the way of telling that is, one, it's going to be a Briggs and Stratton spark plug, and because if you see there, you can just see all the black spray paint. It's because when they put these spark plugs in and then they spray the engines in the factory, that's how you can tell. And looking at that spark plug, that has had it. So let's go and get a new one and we'll stick that on. Right, okay, so we'll stick this back on. We'll take that bit of tissue now out of there, which has stopped any debris getting into the oil. Right, so you've got 3 bolts. They all look the same, but if you notice on this one, This has got a bit like a washer fixed onto it, and that one there goes on to the other side, which holds the exhaust cover on. So remember that. One at the front, one at the side, and one over here. Right, so I'm going to get these in. Let's put that in. Right, okay. Right, so the next thing to do really is take this old filter out. It's got an original Briggs and Stratton on it. You could clean it up with detergent and whatever. Got a bit of a croaky voice, isn't it? But this does need a clean up. But I'm going to stick a brand new one on it. It's easier. Right, so you got brand new filter on it. It's right. This has to go one way only. And just screw that down. Now what I'll do is I'll stick some fresh fuel into there. This is a bit tight going in. Shouldn't be like that. Yeah, I'll stick some fresh fuel in there. We'll give it a go outside. Let the engine warm up, and then I'll do an oil change. Once I've done that, I'll give it a clean up, and then it's all done and can go back. Well, that started well, didn't it? So I'm going to give it a run, let the engine warm up, and then I'm going to give it an oil change. Right, so that is all done. All there is to do now is just give it a bit of a clean. Just use some spray all round, let that penetrate a little bit, and then we'll give it a wipe over. Right. So all you do is really, once it's penetrated into the dirt, it virtually brings it up like new. Brings it up nice and shiny. And it makes people happy. It goes back sort of looking like almost new. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this too clean. No, that's not going to come up clean. So that's the best we're going to get on that. Right, so we do that, and that's the end of this one. Well, there you have it on this one. It's had a fully serviced, it's had a new diaphragm gasket in the carburettor. Carburettor's been cleaned in the ultrasonic cleaner for 30 minutes. It's had new oil, new spark plug and everything, so it's been fully serviced. So the person who's getting it back, I think, is going to be really happy with it. I've given it a good clean. It's had a sharpening of the blade and balanced. So yeah, I think it's all a job well done on this one. So if you like this one, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also remember that grey button down the bottom there. Hit that one, and then you'll be notified when I'm doing my next video. So until next time, that's the end of this one. Cheerio.